Everyone, thank you for coming to our first. For me, it's like the first because I'm the one here leading the meeting. So I'm a hot mess right now. It's okay. Nervous. Okay, it is Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. It is the AESD regular board meeting for the Adelanto Elementary School District. Let's go on and call to order, and can I get a roll call?
Madam President, we did start at 5:30.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and now take roll call. Trustee Eckes. Trustee LaFrench.
Present.
Trustee Webster.
Present.
Trustee Benz.
Present.
And I'll take note that Trustee Turner will not be joining us tonight.
Okay, let's go on to 1.004 Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. We're at adoption of the agenda 2.001 proposed additions, deletions, and adjustments in the order of business.
Madam President, I do have item 14.39 classified personnel, change in assignment. We have a clerical error for Dolores Lones. It should be clerk. She's a clerk 2, 12 months, 6 hours. She's not an 8-hour right now.
Oh,
So that's one change. And the other one is item 14.21. We are pulling the history day schedule.
calling history. Okay, 2.002 can adoption of the agenda. Can I get a motion?
Webster motions.
And can I get a second?
I'll second, but I wanted to make a comment.
Yeah, push the red to lock or the blue to just talk really quick.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, you have to hold it while you talk?
No, well, the blue, yeah, the red, no.
I did not know that. Okay, can everybody hear me? Okay, so okay, so I'm going to vote yes, but I wanted to make a comment. The agenda is extremely heavy. There's like 40 items. I understand that our board president is new, but she does have the authority to cut our agenda much thinner. I understand there's a lot that needs to be dealt with, but if it can't be cut down, the board does have the option to table items if the meeting runs way too late, and it looks like that might be the case tonight. So I just wanted to make that comment before I voted yes. So anyway, you have my second.
And I'm gonna try really hard, like really hard to keep us on track. Promise.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so can I get a vote?
Trustee Eckes.
Aye.
Trustee LaFrench.
LaFrench, aye.
Trustee Webster.
Trustee Webster, aye.
Trustee Benz.
And Ben's aye. Motion passes 4-0. Okay, we move on to 3.001, the 40th and annual San Bernardino in Inyo and Mono County Engineering and Science Fair. Number 3.
Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Quintero. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. Good evening, President Benz, Board of Trustees, Cabinet members, staff, students, and guests. I'm Steve Quintero, the Public Information Officer. It's an honor for me to be here tonight to recognize the outstanding achievements in students and staff in the Adelanto Elementary School District. And we definitely have a few students to honor. I want to congratulate to our students at Melva Davis Academy of Excellence for their achievement at the 40th Annual San Bernardino, Inyo, and Mono County Engineering and Science Fair. The competition had 160 students representing 16 school districts, 2 charter schools, and 2 homeschools. We're extremely proud of the many engaging and complex science and engineering projects that our students researched and developed. There were 21 different categories to compete in, such as animal science, biochemistry, environmental engineering, physics, astronomy, and robotics. At this time, I will read the names of students and staff involved with the competition. And I believe, hold on, if I double check, I do not see a couple of the students are not here. We did have 2 that thought they would attend, but I'll go through the process here of reading their names. And we do have certificates that we will provide to these particular students and the teachers that coached and mentored them. So let me introduce the Engineering Science Fair students who earned honors. At this time, the first student I'd like to honor is JD Singh. His project was on mask versus wildfires. He was a Silver Medal Award winner in the junior and senior division grades 6 through 12. So congratulations, JD. Second, we had Jimena Villarreal for her project on plants versus soil erosion. JD and Jimena also received letters of encouragement from the Environmental Protection Agency for their projects on environmental sciences and environmental engineering. And these are great achievements. We had a third student who also received a letter of encouragement from the EPA, and that is Isabella Ibarra, and that was for her project on gray water. The students were coached and mentored by Jonah Olson. Mr. Olson is with us on Zoom. He's currently at home taking care of one of his children. So we appreciate your presence here via Zoom. We also want to thank the principal, Melva Davis, for supporting her students and staff. Kathy Yuskevich, who's here. Go give a wave. And also the district coordinator for the science and engineering competition was Deshae Thompson. We also want to give a special thank you to Tasha DeWisen, the Assistant Superintendent of Academic Services, for supporting the co-curricular and extracurricular activities at all of our school sites. These learning opportunities enrich the educational experience of our students. So thank you, Dr. DeWisen. Congratulations to all the students and staff. If the students do show up during closed session, I'll ask them how long they can stay for, and hopefully we can get a group picture.
All right.
All right, so thank you very much.
Sounds good. Thank you. Trustees, do you want to say anything or?
Just congratulations. That's exciting.
That is impressive. I just want to go on record and tell the beautiful principal back there, amazing job. And please extend my gratitude to Mr. Olson. Sounds like he is a phenomenal influence in your school. I can't wait to meet this gentleman. And congratulations to all your students. Thank you.
Trustee La French?
Yes, I'd just like to say congratulations to all the student and the teachers and the staff that were there in order to help and assist them and help with their, to say thank you to their parents as well for their support, supporting their students.
And I just want to say how grateful I am to the dedication of the staff and the students for the extra work, because it is extra work. And, you know, that just shows the extra mile, and we are proud. Thank you. Okay, moving on to closed session declarations. We will be taking items 4.002 and 4.07 into closed session. And moving on to 5, public testimony before closed session.
Madam President, there are no speakers for closed session. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and recess to closed session.
Madam President, we do need to take a motion, a first
Yes.
and a second. Sorry, you don't see the box on there.
Yeah, you threw me off
Sorry.
without the box. I'm like a robot. I need a motion to go for the closed session
I motion.
Eckes, I second.
and a vote.
Trustee La French. Trustee Webster.
Trustee Webster, I.
Trustee Benz.
Ben's aye. Motion passes 4-0. The time is now 5:41. My blue button. Oh, sorry, the red locks, the blue does not. Sorry about that. Okay, we are reconvening to open session. Call to order 7.02 roll call.
Trustee Eckes. Trustee La French. Trustee Webster.
Trustee Webster present.
Trustee Benz.
Ben's present. The time is 7:57. Okay, going on 8, there were no closed session reports. 9, student discipline, expulsions and readmissions, 9.001. Student expulsion discipline case, now number 2021-2022-21. Can I get a motion?
Webster motions.
Do you,
Eckes, second.
okay, Webster, Eckes. And are we motioning to approve the recommendations?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a vote, please?
Trustee Eckes. Trustee La French.
Aye.
La French, I.
Trustee Webster.
Trustee Webster, I.
Trustee Benz.
Ben's aye. Motion passes 4-0. Okay, we go on to 10, public testimony.
Thank you. The board welcomes Jennifer Radar, ADTA. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Mitchell, Cabinet, and board members. I'm Jennifer Rader. I'm the president of ADTA. And I'm happy to announce that our teachers have now ratified the negotiated contract for the 2021-2022 school year. We wish to thank the ADTA and AESD negotiating teams for their hard work and tireless efforts in order to finally reach an agreement. We are, of course, extremely disappointed that our very reasonable proposal of putting 4% on schedule was repeatedly rejected when the state mandated COLA was 6.1%. Simultaneously, and sadly for us, we watched other area districts settle their contracts for 5 or 5.5 on schedule. Unfortunately, the raise we were afforded this year does not even keep us on par with inflation and essentially equates to a decrease in our earning power, which effectively translates into a salary decrease. On a positive note, we are pleased to see movement towards fully paid health and welfare benefits for all of our hardworking AESD employees. A glimmer of hope is shining brighter as we witness the district agree to funding the lowest paid healthcare option for our employees. Advancing fully funded healthcare for our employees is definitely a step in the right direction. Since the onset of the pandemic, we've repeatedly been told that we're in this together. What happened to the together part when it came to the dispensability of teachers? The enrollment projections you have been given by several different staff members do not indicate a reduction in force. The numbers, by all accounts, indicate that we should be hiring people, not letting teachers go. We have so many talented, trained, and coached teachers that we can't afford to lose. Just ask any of your site administrators. While the district has invested heavily by providing these teachers with 1 or more years of training and coaching, how can we RIF them when we had so much enrollment that our current staffing could not handle it without a special MOU being written? Obviously, it seems short-sighted to release these teachers since they will have no reason to remain faithful waiting to be rehired in August, and there will certainly be a need to rehire them. Why would they wait to rejoin our district when other districts not only have higher pay scales, but they also have fully funded healthcare at all levels? There are those of us who have invested too much time here to leave, but the newer teachers must be given an incentive to stay. We need to attract and retain the best and brightest for our students, and we are chasing them away after paying for their coaching. Other districts are benefiting from the coaching we afforded these teachers before letting them go. One teacher in particular has been working in our district as a paraprofessional for 12 years since he was 18 years old, and he was invested in our students. His love of teaching led him to get his credential for middle school, which honestly represents a special calling. I salute all the middle school teachers. He was RIF'd, and we lost a real asset to our staff. Knowing that some teachers will be reassigned to TOSA positions, leaving a void in their current assignments, riffing those teachers is a nearsighted approach if we're truly in this together. Not only that, but seeing the new housing being built in all areas should telegraph to our leaders that more, not fewer, teachers will be needed. It is not acceptable to play catch up with appropriate hiring after the beginning of the year. It's not okay to just say, well, we'll just have a crappy start to the new year. In light of the fact that our district enjoys a 28% reserve account, which is extreme by any standard, and in light of the fact that inflation continues to rise and gas prices alone are over $6 in most areas, we hope that next year's negotiations will more closely reflect the COLA that the governor recommends for all employees. It is honestly criminal for our district to have such a high amount of reserve money when year after year we are promoting students who do not have basic reading skills. We teachers are doing all we can to rectify that situation, but especially in the wake of our year of distance learning, our students are experiencing great difficulty readjusting to the demands and requirements of each grade level. Each of us teachers is needing to remediate at least one level below our working grade level for nearly the majority of kids in most cases. Most kids honestly lost a whole year of learning. Now that we are back in person, teachers are the most important factor in student success. We have good systems in place. We don't need to fund another program. Since our population includes so many foster students, second language learners, and students on free and reduced lunch, we are remiss in not allocating more funding to the schools in the form of human resources, classroom teachers, paraprofessionals. Again, attracting new teachers who are going to invest themselves in our population is the best way to assure the success of students. And we can either attract or retain them if our contract is substandard in the high desert districts. It is in the best interest of students to fund intervention programs, reading specialists, after-school tutoring, sports programs, and more paraprofessionals in the classrooms. This takes a commitment to our students, not lip service. These luxury retreats at 4-star hotels that you are taking regularly are just district paid for family vacations. I know you are in your roles as school board members because you want to help our students. So just because you can do these things, maybe you shouldn't. Let every decision you make reflect your purpose here. Additionally, our administration is creating even more management positions for the district office to be voted on tonight. I urge you strongly to consider voting those down. Our IT team does not need a director. They need people. They need a data technician. They need people to work at the school sites. We do not need to fund another $160,000 supervisor position. Why are we hiring more administrators and getting rid of teachers? Our district has too many high-end positions. Mrs. Eckes, and I see Mrs. Turner isn't here today, but Ms. Eckes, you probably remember the situation years ago when Ross Swearingen and Darren Brawley eliminated nearly every DO administrative position and ran the district themselves. Our student enrollment wasn't less than it is now, and somehow they managed. Hiring more people isn't always the answer. Busyness does not equate to good business. District monies would more appropriately and usefully be spent on reading recovery programs and help with our students' social dysfunctions. This leads me to my next point of concern. There is a dangerous lack of supervision and direction with the students at Mesa Linda Middle School. Students are roaming around campus in packs, avoiding class and ignoring the repeated directives to get back to class. They laugh and continue on their way. The administration is powerless. The number one thing that has to happen immediately is a reinstatement of our SAR board. Parents need to be held accountable for their students' truancy. When parents are fined for their students' truancies, it demonstrates strongly that we mean business when we tell them to return to class. Honestly, this represents a huge liability, a dangerous situation if a fight breaks out. I can think of a number of other horrifying scenarios. Students cannot roam unsupervised. If they don't want to be in class, independent study program is still available to them. The only choices they should be presented with are options that are acceptable to the school. Right now, the students are calling the shots. The adults are not respected. This culture needs to be changed with some tough love immediately and decisively. I would be remiss in not stating unequivocally that I am so thrilled to be here in person with you again. Thank you for listening to our requests for in-person board meetings. I think we will all benefit from the community and connection this creates, as well as the hopefulness that we are returning to normalcy. And with that, I'll end my remarks. I'm very pleased to represent ADTA as the president, finishing out my predecessor's term, and I look forward to working with all of you. Our district is a family, and as with all families, there's a certain amount of dysfunction and other challenges, but together we can rise above to solve the problems and experience a truly unifying reality.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a speaker for CSEA?
Yes, we do, Madam President. Ms. Lynn is online.
All right.
Good evening, President Benz, trustees, Dr. Mitchell, cabinet, CSA members, ADTA members, and all others attending this meeting. I would like to reflect on a speech from last year in May. We finally came to a tentative agreement for negotiations for 2020-2021. Although we are grateful for the outcome, I would like to mention it is only a Band-Aid. Don't misunderstand me. We are grateful we have our jobs and there were no layoffs. However, in the past years, our essential workers, classified staff have been making less wages due to inflation and the rising costs of health insurance. With the current stipend for health insurance and the off-schedule increase for salaries, we are struggling. However, looking ahead as you do, our future looks uncertain with these rising costs. I'm hoping for next year, our salaries and insurance cap will provide the assurance we need during these troubling times. And now as we play it forward to today, CSEA had a special chapter meeting last night, and I'm happy to announce that our tentative agreement for our reopeners for 2021-2022 was ratified. Our members were pleasantly surprised. With the rising costs of and inflation and gasoline, we feel that our voices have been heard. I would like to thank everyone who were at the bargaining table. Everyone was very professional and well-mannered, whether we agreed or disagreed. I would also like to thank Dr. Mitchell for his vision on healthcare and raising the cap. It was much appreciated. I'm hoping our tentative agreement for 2021 and 2022 will be approved by the trustees at our next board meeting on April 26th. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you.
Next, the board welcomes Michaela Alcala online. Ms. Alcala, you can unmute yourself. Thank you.
Dr. Mitchell, there's no one with that name in the participants list.
Got it. The board welcomes Tracy Moore.
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Great, thanks. I spoke at a board meeting last month where I urged you, the board, to vote no on the resolution to let go of 20+ teachers. I also mentioned that my child, a 5th grader at George, had not had a credentialed teacher since December. FYI, he still doesn't. If you recall, at that meeting, Dr. Mitchell provided an analogy to justify why we needed to lay off teachers. He compared it to making a big meal and you invite a bunch of people to come over, but when they don't show up, you have extra food. At the time, I thought it was a silly and somewhat callous comparison, but after looking at the agenda for tonight, it wasn't just callous, but totally inaccurate. Here's what Dr. Mitchell's analogy left out. Sometimes when you make a big meal for a party, people show up who weren't invited, and you actually end up running out of food. And that's the position that our district is in now. 1611 on the agenda tonight is to create TOSA positions. Where exactly are we going to find teachers to become TOSAs? Well, that's easy. Teachers from within our district will transition out of the classroom and into these positions. So now, going into next year, we are going to be short even more teachers because you laid off people last month, and we're also going to lose the ones that become TOSAs. At that same meeting, Dr. Mitchell also mentioned that attendance across the district is down. The problem with that statement is that attendance is not the same as enrollment. If you look at our enrollment numbers, there was no justification to letting go of anyone. In fact, HR should have been actively recruiting to hire more teachers. Student attendance is a separate issue that isn't going to be solved by letting go of teachers. Here's another interesting tidbit. When you call the district's enrollment number, they have a voice recording saying that they are currently experiencing high volumes of enrollment. So again, why did you lay off teachers when enrollment is actually up and the district is planning to pull additional teachers from their classrooms to become TOSAs next year? Another item on the agenda that raises red flags is 16.12. This item calls for the creation of a new position, Director of Technology. If attendance is so poor that we had to lay off multiple teachers, why then would we need to create more upper management positions at the district office? So teachers are getting laid off because we don't have enough students, but we also need to create new admin positions at the district? Both things cannot coexist. Our IT department does not need a new director. If anything, instead of wasting money on a director of technology, we could be hiring 3 or 4 lower level IT people to help with the workload that the technology department is facing with summer fast approaching. One last thing, our bargaining team asked for a 4% raise and the district wouldn't budge past 3 1/4. That's less than a $300,000 district difference that they refused to give us. But here they are tonight, pushing to create new admin positions that will cost hundreds of thousands of
15
dollars.
seconds.
I am urging you, the board, to look at tonight's agenda closely and start asking questions, because as of right now, there's a lot of things that don't add up. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we want to go ahead? Yes. Okay.
I have some more.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get acclimated with this.
Yeah, we're all out of whack.
Yeah, it's a hybrid and in person. I'm trying. That's it for online. The board welcomes Ressa Barrias. Hi, please, welcome.
Yeah, it's great. Hi, thank you so much for your time. My name is Risa Barrias. I'm an AESD parent. I'm really excited that we are back in person. I think it's so meaningful to be able to share in community to be able to participate with other educators and other parents. So I'd like to particularly address the choice to hold closed session at the outset of meetings, because it seems to serve largely to discourage public participation, especially with so many educators and parents on school nights, waiting until, I mean, some nights it's been close to midnight to provide comment and meaningfully participate in our school board meetings. We would love to see closed session at the end of meetings, like so many city councils do, like so many other school boards do, and this school board has done before. This way, parents and community members and educators can participate without inhibition. Additionally, I want to express my support for our teachers and especially for our kids. When our teachers aren't getting the resources that they need, when we can't retain our best teachers and new teachers, and we can't recruit good teachers, our kids suffer for it. Our kids are suffering from it with low resources, with teachers who are permanent subs and don't necessarily have the same kind of skills to manage their oversized classrooms. We need to make sure that we are meeting our teachers' demands. We need to be supporting our teachers' unions and making sure that their needs are being met. Otherwise, we are not going to be able to get the best teachers. Our kids are going to struggle and suffer for this, and they already are. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President, that concludes our comments. Thank you.
Okay, I lost my spot here. Where am I? Okay. Okay, moving on to 11.001 governing board members reports and announcement. Would a trustee like to start?
Sure, I'll jump in.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to try to make it really quick so we can get this meeting underway. First of all, I just wanted to ask the board if we could possibly add to the next agenda meeting, that we have a board policy to end our board meetings by 9:30 again. I think that's important, and I just want to publicly announce that so that maybe we can get that on the agenda and vote on that as a board and see how it goes. Other than that, I will keep all my other comments till the next meeting, and I just want to wish everybody a blessed and happy Easter. And thank you for coming tonight. It's exciting to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Board, I heard a request from trustee Eckes to have consensus to put that item on the agenda for next time.
Board.
Yes, I totally agree. Probably took the words out of my mouth. I don't think that we should be here until 9:30, 10:30, 11, 12 o'clock. And then I have to drive home to my family. I think that we should be able to start and finish no later than 9:30.
Trustee Webster?
I agree.
Yeah, that's consensus.
Got it. I'll put it on the next agenda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other board members?
No, that was my comment that I had.
Okay.
Hi, good evening. I want to take a minute to recognize our students at Westside Park. They did a phenomenal job. I don't know if anybody noticed, but our lobby has so much beautiful artwork out there, and I just wanted it to go on record how amazed I was by the talent we have in that school. On the second, I want to take a minute to again follow up and say that I was really proud. I'm not sure everybody was in attendance earlier, but we recognized some students for the engineering and science fair. And once again, I'm just still super proud of them. And I want to take a moment and say thank you to everybody who is here tonight for our first back to in-person board meeting. I'm so happy to see all of your faces, and I can't wait to see more of them. And now I will be quiet. Thank you.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm just like, I got to keep time, so I'm going to keep my mind short, but I am glad you all are here, and I am trying to be more conscious of the time. So I'll go on, okay? Thank you for being here. Okay, on to 12.001, adoption of the minutes, approve written and order filled regular board meeting of March 15th, 2022. Can I get a motion to approve?
I motion to approve.
Thank you.
Eckes, I second.
Thank you. And can I get a vote?
Trustee Eckes. Trustee La French.
Left French, I.
Trustee Webster.
Trustee Webster, I.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I. Motion passes 4-0. Now we go on to staff reports and presentations. We will start with 13.01, academic services, presentation of professional learning and collaboration plans for the Theodore Vick Elementary School, El Mirage School, and Adelanto Elementary School.
Thank you, Madam President. We're so pleased to have our principals here tonight, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Doizan to lead the presentation.
All right, good evening, Board President Benz, Board of Trustees, Dr. Mitchell, Cabinet, AESD staff, and community. It is a pleasure to continue our school's professional learning and collaboration plan presentations this evening. This evening, we will hear updates from the following schools: Theodore Vick, El Mirage, and Adelanto Elementary. Each school is prepared to show how they are working collaboratively with their staff to support their growth and development to support our students. At this time, I would like to introduce our first school, Theodore Vick, and proud principal, Mrs. Jan Milana.
Good evening, esteemed Board of Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Mitchell, and Executive Cabinet. I am Jan Milana, Principal of Theodore Vick Elementary School, and I am honored to share with you our site's Professional Learning and Collaboration Plan, or PLCP, as well as the growth our staff has accomplished thus far this year.
Good to go, Jan? Okay.
There is a common understanding of education research that teacher quality is the most important school-related factor influencing student learning and achievement. It is vital that professional learning is based on the results of needs assessments and data to enhance teacher quality. In line with this premise, the teachers and administrators of TEDVIC worked as a team to identify areas of need or problems of practice through surveys administered to all the staff members, as well as a review of student achievement data. Consensus and survey results and data helped determine the professional learning and collaboration foci. Our first focus is developing reading, comprehension, and early literacy skills using thinking maps. Students need these skills to develop a rich vocabulary, self-expression, and comprehension to become successful readers and lifelong learners. Our second focus is developing math skills through teacher clarity and number talks. Teacher clarity refers to teachers' deep understanding about the what, why, and how to teach it, as well as what success looks like. Number talk provides students with meaningful ongoing practice aimed at developing their number sense and to learn to solve problems in more than one way. Our TV staff and leadership team meetings continue to include components that pertain to our PLCP. We have had professional development sessions on both areas of focus, as well as regular collaboration and sharing of best practices to achieve better or further success. Teachers have reminders or regular reminders of the look-fors or success criteria to gauge progress and drive continuous growth. As part of appreciative inquiry, administration looks for success criteria for Focus 1 that include, on the part of the teacher, using and modeling different thinking maps and charts that indicate what students know, want to know, and learned, or KWL, or reflection paper that ask the students the following questions. What did I do? What did I learn? What was interesting? What questions do I still have? Or DLIQ. Since TEDVIC is an AVID school, AVID strategies are also applicable. Adapt use of appropriate digital tools for instructional delivery, essential statement of the why behind lessons and activities, and various strategies to check for understanding are also success criteria. Success criteria on the part of the students include taking notes on or writing from thinking maps or pictures, explaining or showing comprehension, using interactive notebooks, Google Slides, or to participate in class activities. Restating, clarifying with visuals or more examples, and responding to various formative assessment strategies, among others. For math, administration looks for teachers conducting mini lessons, modeling think alouds and using sentence frames, facilitating math chats, checking for understanding, teaching number sense and reasoning skills, asking questions instead of telling. And on the part of the students, we are looking for students explaining numbers and sharing as many strategies possible and writing math journals. Working on collaboration boards and Flipgrid, using tools and manipulatives to solve problems independently or with partners, revoicing or restating what someone has said in one's own words, and persevering with academic struggle, among others. For professional learning to take place, teachers are given opportunities during professional development sessions to collaborate, plan, and practice what they have learned with their grade level teams. We've also had data chats following a certain protocol for examining data that includes specific steps with questions such as, step 1, what parts of this data catch your attention? Which teachers answer with just the facts. Step 2 question is, what does the data tell us? Another is, what does the data not tell us? Which they answer with inferences about the data. The facilitator then encourages them to support their statements with evidence from the data. Step 3 is, what good news is there to celebrate? The facilitator asks the group to look for indications of success in the data. Step 4, what are the problems of practice suggested by the data? Step 5, what are our key conclusions? What recommendations does the team have for addressing the problems of practice? This is the action phase of the data analysis, where the team will design an action plan for next steps following plan, do, study, act cycle. As part of the PDSA cycle, we have established grade level focused interventions with roving subs provided for instructional support. Additional part of professional collaboration is that teachers either volunteer or are encouraged to take part in Teacher Spotlight, in which they share best practices or facilitate a mini professional development session. Teachers are then expected to show evidence of practice or application of their professional learning in the classroom. Feedback is provided in these various ways, as you can see on the screen, to support teachers and to plan or modify for more focused professional learning and or strategies for effective implementation of the PLCP. Mrs. Bykowski, our TVE AAIAC, and I promote transparency and collaboration, as well as foster psychological safety for everyone to be more comfortable to share or receive constructive feedback. Our key performance indicators include multiple measures of student achievement data. We understand that one test result is not conclusive of student achievement. So while STAR data are usually used, we consider student work samples, teacher feedback, among others. Foci expectations and accountability are also established with acknowledgement that consistency still needs to be observed. Classroom observations with their fundamental purpose of improving student outcomes by improving instructional practice are definitely a key performance indicator. Appreciative inquiry data provide appreciative feedback for professional reflection and growth. Plan, do, study, act cycle interventions also provide measures of effective strategies and ideas for modification. Staff parent surveys such as PBMs and others also inform us of what's working and what needs to be changed. With regard to the school culture at Theodore Vick Elementary, having been the new principal for just 2 months now and a few months interim prior, I can unequivocally say that we have teachers and support staff members that are simply amazing. They have exhibited incredible resilience, hard work, and perseverance. And with a positive attitude and enthusiasm, and a strong leadership team who nurtures collaboration, teamwork, and growth mindset, there is no doubt our Theodore Vick Elementary School is becoming best at getting better every day. As two of my favorite quotes say, the first one being, excellence is the gradual result of always striving to do better. And the other, unity is strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. We have successes to celebrate at Ted Vick Elementary. Our AAIC, Rebecca Bykowski, and I have facilitated professional development on number talks and thinking maps in relation to our PLCP foci. We have ongoing professional collaboration and teamwork that inspire everyone to be better each day. We have planned to study act cycle based on data chats that we are excited about improving our teaching and learning practices. We have grade level focused or small group interventions with additional instructional support and roving subs to assist us in our learning recovery efforts. We have before or after school interventions for our tier 2, 3 students. To motivate more our Ted Vick Mustangs to do well at school, we purchased a class set of keyboards and now offer after-school keyboard class with music teacher, Miss Perry. We successfully held a virtual awards assembly for the first semester and look forward to an in-person one for the end of the school year. And we just recently had our very successful Family Literacy Math Kindness Club Roundup. We had an exceptionally high turnout that made me worry a little bit that we might run out of snacks for everyone. Good thing we got more than the number of people we expected. We are happy and proud of our accomplishments. At this point, I would like to proudly recognize and thank our Ted Vick team, our amazing teachers and supporting staff, including our AAIAC, Ms. Rebecca Bykowski, all of whose high-level professionalism and dedication to our student success are just wonderfully remarkable. You inspire me to be myself best at getting better and continuously strive for excellence with you. I definitely also would like to thank our supportive TVE parents and guardians, my fellow district employees, colleagues, friends, the executive cabinet members, Superintendent Dr. Michelle, and the Board of Trustees. Thank you so much to all of you for all your support. God bless you all and your families. I am now ready for your questions. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry, I'm teary-eyed right now.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Board, I was hoping maybe we could let all three schools present, then we'll ask the questions, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the next school, El Mirage, and proud principal, Ms. Karen Ward, who will share with you what has been taking place at El Mirage.
Let me get my screen shared and we'll get going. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Mitchell, Executive Cabinet, El Mirage staff and families. I'm Dr. Karen Ward, Principal of El Mirage School, and I am pleased to share with you our site's professional learning plan and our staff growth throughout the year. Prior to joining El Mirage in the fall, surveys were performed by the prior principal and with the staff and parents to determine the two areas of focus. The two areas were to improve student English and math skills through teacher clarity of instruction and to improve literacy in English language development through targeted reading intervention. When learning is organized and intentional, and when learners know what he or she is learning, great things can happen. Teacher and student clarity happens when teachers know what students need to learn, teachers communicate learning intentions to students, teachers and students understand success criteria, and information is relevant and meaningful. Literacy in English language development was selected as our second focus area because over 50% of our students are English learners. Our goal is to improve students' speaking, reading, and writing skills through targeted reading intervention. We have provided several focused professional learning opportunities through workshops and support programs to help our teachers have tools at hand to allow them to teach with clear expectations. We did a book study with Corwin's Teacher Clarity book, and a Corwin representative joined us 3 times throughout the year to dive deeper into the strategies provided in the book. The Teacher Clarity workshops provided support for teachers in collaborative teams to identify learning intentions and discuss ideas for explicit instruction, how to review student work, and determine which strategies are successful. In addition, we purchased MobiMax, an online intervention program that provides student computer adaptive learning at their level in math. The program also offers reading, social studies, and science intervention as needed. Training was provided for teachers, which gave an overview of how to use the program and run student reports of completion and progress. Teachers work collaboratively to assist each other with program intervention. 8 Keys to Excellence training and curriculum was provided to give behavioral support and improve student accountability. The representative provided 2 trainings in the fall and winter to give an overview of the program, lesson plans, and also provided social emotional support for the teachers. Each month is a different focus key where teachers have in-class lessons and activities, followed by nominating 1 student of the month who displays the characteristics and receives a character award. Our librarian and I held a parent meeting to introduce a parent guide for student success. We had good representation of parents on site to help support student achievement, and we anticipate a couple more before the end of the year. Our success criteria for teacher clarity is observed during my classroom walkthroughs, where I am daily seeing teachers model assignments and activities for their students, using random methods to call on students, students working together, followed by independent work, using the I do, we do, you do strategy. Several of our classes use project-based learning to help deepen student understanding. One of our classes received a Rotary grant to purchase caterpillars for grades 1 through 3 classrooms. The students monitored the growth and life cycle pattern of the caterpillars as they transformed into butterflies. And we were able to release them on Friday before spring break. And you can see the excitement in the student's eyes as he released his butterflies. When students do not master skills, teachers do fall back and reteach and reassess students as needed. Our key performance indicators are also observed as I walk through classrooms. I look to see if students are actively engaged through questioning and answering, hands-on activities, including working collaboratively on projects and assignments. Students should be able to show mastery through a variety of methods, not only formal assessments, but through presentations and responses to questions. Teachers are giving clear step-by-step instructions and modeling work for students. Classrooms have a positive learning environment where students feel safe to ask questions. Walls have student work and academic vocabulary and definitions for students to reference. Teachers use both whole class and small group instruction in their daily instruction methods. Teachers monitor progress through both formal and informal ongoing assessments to check for understanding. Our second area of focus is literacy and English language development. We provided several learning opportunities for our staff to increase their teaching skills to improve student literacy. We received funding through both school improvement and early literacy grant to help implement student achievement interventions. We have trained staff and implemented several programs to give teachers the tools at hand to help all struggling students, not just our EL population. Some of the K through 3 teachers completed the core learning professional development course, followed by a core representative coming to campus to observe the K through 3 teachers, as well as our reading intervention coach. The coach provided individual feedback to help each of them with student success and intervention opportunities. We purchased 2 supplemental curriculum materials from Teacher Created Materials, Right Time Curriculum for grades 4 through 8 to help prepare them for CASP and future education with their writing skills. In addition, we purchased Language Power, which is being utilized by our reading intervention pullout program. We purchased level A. We look forward to purchasing levels B and C for the upcoming year for student advancement. The Teacher Created Material representative provided targeted training for the teachers using both programs and has been available for follow-up sessions as needed. Training was provided at the beginning of the year for teachers utilizing thinking maps. If you teach students to think critically, they will learn for a lifetime. Students have access to a variety of graphic organizers to help them with their research, reading, and writing assignments. Many classrooms have the maps posted on their walls as reminders for students, and some print them to use for specific assignments. Hagerty Phonics Awareness Curriculum was part of our early literacy action plan. The journey to reading begins with phonemic awareness. The curriculum was purchased and teachers completed a self-paced professional development and preparation of classroom implementation. I've seen the teachers using the program already and students have been actively engaged in the classroom. Lexia provided data analysis training today and offered English learner application for a trial basis for the remainder of the year. Our literacy success criteria has been implemented through our targeted reading intervention and in-class clarity of instruction. Students will improve their literacy skills through these different programs. Our reading intervention program started in January after reviewing STAR data results and targeted students in the at-risk category. Through data chats and teacher meetings, we developed grade level groups to meet 2 times each week with our reading intervention coach using the Language Power curriculum. Word and picture association is completed with each lesson to increase comprehension. Students' progress is reviewed quarterly to confirm they are in the correct reading placement group. In addition, we distribute word of the day cards to our students, grades K through 8, which contain 5 sight words and students should know and understand. Students are required to find 5 adults to say the word, spell the word, and use the word in a sentence. Once their card is fully initialed on Friday, they can bring it to the student store to receive an incentive prize for their hard work. Each room is print rich with support material and student work. And we are currently using the trial of Lexia English Learner program through the end of the year as an enhancement to our existing Lexia program, which will be used daily by our English learners as additional language development intervention and evaluated at the end of the school year to see if it's a program we want to continue for next year. The key performance indicators for early literacy is observed through classroom walkthroughs. Literacy is essential to all components of a student's education. They must be able to read to be successful in all subject areas. Through differentiated instruction and small group targeted intervention, we are completing oral and written activities that teach students how to use rhymes, wordplay, manipulation of words, syllables, and sounds to decode words when they read. Teachers are using total physical response, or known as TPR, that include clapping, snapping, and hand movements to learn syllables and letter sounds through phonemic instruction. Teachers are helping students learn sight words and using picture word association to build their vocabulary through weekly word day cards and flashcards. Teachers are using graphic organizers to improve their critical thinking and writing skills. All these methods and strategies are used to help prepare students for higher academic achievement. Our professional collaboration is performed in a number of different ways. Teachers collaborate monthly to review a variety of topics, share successes and areas of concern. They determine if students need additional support through our SST process and through the reading intervention program. They share strategies and updates from their various committees, and the RSP teacher works closely with general education teachers to develop intervention and modifications as needed to meet students' individual needs. Teachers plan events and celebrations throughout the year for holidays, reading achievement, and positive behavior incentives to build a positive campus culture. Teachers monitor and review data throughout the year and plan next steps. Instructional feedback is provided in a variety of ways to our staff. I am able to visit classrooms weekly and observe students in class, during recess and lunch to build relationships and encourage positive behavior. I have enjoyed seeing teachers give clear and explicit instructions, and students have clear expectations from their teachers for their learning goals and assignments. I often see teachers modeling instruction first, followed by working together with students to complete example assignments and finishing with independent or group work where students solve problems on their own. Weekly, I provide feedback through our weekly announcement bulletin, which includes appreciative inquiry of positive observations made in the classrooms. In weekly and monthly staff meetings, individual data chats, and student success team meetings, we discuss what is working and what areas need additional support. I periodically review STAR data and provide feedback of student progress or additional support needed. We enjoy celebrating successes of STAR and AR achievements along with monthly character awards to increase motivation for others to meet and exceed their goals. El Mirage is a small country school in the rural community outside of Adelanto. The staff and students are warm-hearted and welcoming to each other and work well together and made me feel very welcomed when I joined the campus in October. With a small student body of K through 8 students, we're able to learn every student's name and family and build strong relationships with each other. Students are very kind and make kindness walls and posters throughout the campus. Our PBIS committee is actively planning events to build a positive campus culture throughout El Mirage, and monthly awards assemblies, PBIS focus assemblies, and various incentives-based activities. And we enjoyed Dr. Mitchell joining us on our December Assembly Awards. We are excited to see the growth of our teachers who are implementing clarity and instruction throughout the day, modeling instruction, students working together and solving problems, demonstrating mastery in independent and group work. Teachers work together to determine which students would benefit from targeted reading intervention. Our reading intervention coach was hired and implemented the reading intervention pull-up program and has already shown considerable improvement in language development for the students in this program. Several programs have been implemented after training to help provide student success. We look forward to celebrating future successes for both teachers and students. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to now turn it over to Mr. Rizzo, who is excited to share with you the wonderful things taking place at Adelanto Elementary School.
Good evening, Madam President, esteemed board, executive cabinet, and Superintendent Dr. Mitchell. My name is Ramon Rizzo. I'm the principal for Adelanto Elementary School. Thank you for the opportunity to share our PLCP plan with you this evening. Oh. Everybody see that okay? The PLCP development. Our plan is an ongoing journey towards student achievement and excellence. Beginning with teachers' needs assessment, we identified 2 areas of focus: reading comprehension and math concepts. Through every step of the way, a key component of our plan is working together collaboratively, giving our staff of teachers an opportunity to share their voice, their concerns, and together come up with an area of focus that makes sense for our students. No one knows their students better than our teachers. They are the ones who observe, assess, and finally plan and guide their instruction after analyzing data. Professional learning foci. Once again, reading comprehension and math concepts are our PLCP foci. As we transition back from distance learning, we recognize that we need to revisit, review, and reteach fundamental reading skills. With our ELSB reading grant, we have been given the opportunity to provide professional development to our kindergarten to 3rd grade teachers in the area of early literacy skills. Additionally, we recognize that reading comprehension will not happen until fundamental skills have been mastered. Math is another key area that we wanted to make sure to prioritize. Again, revisiting the basics and ensuring fundamental concepts are mastered for both reading comprehension and math concepts. Success criteria for reading comprehension and math concepts. What will this look like for both teachers and students in our classrooms? With the various collaborative processes, such as feedback for daily walkthroughs, staff meeting share out opportunities, and appreciative inquiry activities, we are better able to analyze specific best practices and to implement them in classrooms from lower to upper grades, including for ELA reading, daily phonemic awareness practice, building a text-rich environment, and use narrative and expository text. For math concepts, numbers in base 10, place value, and master math facts. AES professional development. Professional development has become an integral part of our school business and adult learning culture. Teachers have really embraced this process as we continue to develop our PLCP plan. We understand and are grateful for the opportunity to grow along with our students and provide every opportunity possible to achieve student success. AES professional collaboration. The staff at AES recognizes the importance of collaboration. We are a united staff and regularly meet to discuss school business and how we can improve past instructional practices. We have an active on-site tech support coordinator, EL coordinator, and teachers that are willing to share their expertise in academics and SEL lessons. Appreciative inquiry and the power of feedback. As a staff, we have decided to debrief with one another after important on-site or district-wide professional development. This gives our teachers the opportunity to share out what they have learned and discuss key ideas or best practices that they can then take back to the classrooms. We are working towards making the adult learning experience meaningful and purposeful. We recognize that feedback is important as we incorporate activities such as see, hear, and feel, and plus delta minus surveys. Again, we then share out this feedback and make adjustments where necessary. Key performance indicators. Making data visible. We have designated a professional development room where our teachers collaborate with one another, discuss and provide adult learning highlights, and review and analyze school-wide data. We often talk about the importance of developing common practices and routines with our students. As a staff, we have developed our own PLC practices, such as sharing best teaching strategies, data analysis, and addressing school foci elements. Collaborative school culture. We believe that developing and maintaining a positive school culture is extremely important. Our AES leadership team meets diligently every 2 weeks to not only discuss and calendar important upcoming events, but to talk about and gauge school campus climate and the concerns of each grade level. This process also includes the thoughts and concerns of our classified staff, parents, and students. Let me hear you roar, AES. It has been an exciting year at AES. As we transitioned into an in-person learning, we were able to fall back into our pre-COVID routines, build on our various reading campaigns, and reconnect with students and their families. The professional development we went through during distance learning only enhanced our ability to support our students and their reading growth. This year, we've incorporated a Spirit Week to encourage our students to do their very best on their STAR assessments. We've called it a celebration of learning to help create a culture of student engagement and achievement. Students are recognized for maintaining at grade or increase their current reading and math levels by 0.5 or higher. We want to shout out to our very own Miss Anderson's first grade class, who submitted the winning logo for the Adelanto Elementary School District's reading slogan contest. I want to share a few pictures of our site. Harvest Parade every fall has always been a big hit. Staff recognition is something that we do at each staff meeting, and those are cougar coconuts. Our 9/11 Day of Remembrance has been very popular at our site, and not only popular, but it's been a great learning experience for our staff, and we love to invite you all for next year's. Read Across America has been also a very exciting time at our site. We have a lot of fun with the students, and we love sharing Dr. Seuss and various stories. Our library is continuing to grow each and every year. We're buying new books every year. So our kids love our library, and our library really has become the heart of our school. And of course, our PBIS achievement, we've gone 4 years straight earning the California Silver level of PBIS. And time for questions.
All right, thank you. Thank you all three. Trustees, do you have any questions of any of our principals?
I don't have any questions. I just want to say thank you to all three of you for taking the time out tonight and presenting. Thank you. We appreciate it.
I agree. I agree. Thank you so much. Very impressive. Thank you.
I have to follow suit and say thank you for your time tonight. We appreciate all of your presentations, and drive safe.
Okay. As for me, I really enjoyed the pictures for the fact that I'm a teacher and I can't tour other classes. So when I can see it, it's like, how do they do that? How do they do that? It really is. So for me, it's easy. Just pick pictures and I'm good. And you really are showing what a wonderful class school culture you are creating, and in that you will instill good memories, lifelong lasting for your students. And I'm very, very proud that you're part of our district. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I think that's it. They're free to go.
All right, thank you, principals. Good work. So we're on to 13.
Okay, so now we got to go on to 13.002, presentation of SB 328, ed code 46148, school start time law from Dr. Dwizon.
Yes, and so I'd like to welcome Dr. Dwizon to update our school community on where we stand in terms of adherence to this new law. So Dr. Dwizon, thank you.
Is it on? Okay, all right, yeah.
So good evening, Board President Benz, Board of Trustees, Dr. Mitchell, Cabinet, AESD staff and community. This evening, Mr. Kraus and I will present a very short overview of SB 328, which is now Ed Code 46148, or the Late Start Law. Next slide. We will present the background of this new code, the process we went through to provide our recommendation, and the next steps moving forward. Research has shown that sleep deprivation leads to teen absenteeism, lower grades, higher dropout rates, and depression. Significant improvement in the sleep duration of students shows a significant improvement in the sleep duration of students, all by delaying school start times so that they're more in line with the natural wake-up times of adolescence. So we call this circadian rhythm. So basically, teenagers, I have a teenager at home, doesn't sleep at any normal hours whatsoever. So by allowing them a little bit more time in the morning, it allows them to be a little bit more alert. So SB 328 states that beginning on July 1st, 2022, and for the 22-23 school year, that's when it is implemented. Middle schools cannot start the school day before 8 a.m. and high schools cannot start before 8:30 a.m. So this is now new Ed Code 46148. Next slide. In order to make sure that we are compliant, we set out to engage multiple stakeholders in the conversation to discuss these possible changes. We're making sure to inform the board through this presentation and also set out, we will also set out on a marketing campaign with the support of our public information officer, Mr. Quintero, to advertise and inform parents and families of the adjustment to this time. Next slide.
Yes, good evening, members of the board. Our team in business services, I oversee transportation. We wanted to look at what would be the least disruption to all of our school sites in implementing this new law, the late start law. And so what we did is we looked at all the routes, all the bus routes currently in place, if we adjusted all of them or if we adjusted to some of them. And so our recommendation this evening to the board is that we change the start time, which you can see here for Mesa Linda, Melba Davis, and Columbia. The current start times there, 7:40, 7:40, and 8:10. And our recommendation is to move them up to 8:10, 8:10, and 8:40. What this will do is will bring us in compliance with the new law because we have to start after 8 a.m. And so then the new dismissal times will be pushed back, as you can see there, 2:31, 2:31, and 3:02. And so this is the least amount of disruption after doing an exhaustive survey of our routes in our transportation department, how many drivers we had, how many buses we had, because we have to take that to account as well. With a shortage of bus drivers in the state as well, we had to look at that. So, but this again is our recommendation to have the least amount of disruption, yet still stay within the spirit of the law and the law itself.
So the next slide, the next steps will be making sure to advertise the time changes to our families, our students and staff of this 30-minute time change before and after school. So we're going to accomplish this through our social media, flyers, calls, our district website, and various parent and family events, making sure to get the word out into the community. Okay. And that concludes our presentation.
Board questions? No? Okay, no questions from the board. Thank you. Okay, next one goes on to 13.03, presentation of AESD Summer Enrichment Camp 2022.
Thank you, Madam President. So board, we have another summer rolling up, and so our staff would like to give some information about our preparation for some great summer activities for the summer. So I'm turning over to Dr. Doizan. Thank you.
Yes, good evening again. So we're excited to present our summer school enrichment camp for 2022 this evening for you, which was collaboratively planned by multiple stakeholders. This evening, our Academic Services Director, Carol Coburn, will present this with me. Next slide. So our objectives this evening are to provide an overview of the purpose of the summer enrichment camp and extended school year, to provide information about the dates, times, and locations for our summer enrichment camp and ESY, and to provide a summary of the programs offered to students for summer enrichment camp and ESY. Our purpose for summer enrichment camp is to provide our students with opportunities to extend learning academically, socially, and emotionally, and engage in enrichment activities. Students with disabilities are supported to maintain academic, social, and behavioral communication and other skills that they've learned as part of their IEP. So in front of you, you see that last year we offered 2 summer sessions. Instead of offering 2, this year it will be 1 summer session, but expanded. So our elementary schools, Eagle Ranch, Theodore Vick, Victoria McGaffin, Westside Park, and Gus Franklin will be the host schools, as well as middle school for Mesa Linda and Columbia Middle School. Our extended school year, or ESY, which is for our special education students, will take place at West Creek and also Melva Davis Academy of Excellence.
Mike, can you go back 1 slide, please? Go back. Go back.
Thank
Okay.
you. I forgot times.
I'll go ahead and take this one.
I
Thank
saw.
you.
Gotta get
So
used to the
I
new
wanted to
system.
let you know our dates and times that we want to hold our summer enrichment camp in ESY. You will see that they do overlap for the most part. But our summer enrichment camp will begin on June 9th. This will give time for our teachers to do planning so that they can really, get a solid program for kids together. Also attend some PD sessions for some of the programs that they'll be working with during that time frame. But we do intend to go from June 9th all the way to July 1st. And for the extended school year, which is offered to our special education kids, it needs to be 20 days. So they will have to start on June 6th and run through July 1st. You will see a similar schedule at both schools. We tried to align them as much as possible. We do offer breakfast for both groups from 7:40 in the morning to 8 o'clock. And our instructional program from 8 to 12. And then from 12 to 12:20, we offer lunch to everyone. Our summer enrichment camp will then either go home for the day or they have the opportunity to attend the after-school program as well. Our registration will be online through our enrollment center. We are using our new School Mint registration system and very excited to offer that as an easy registration process for all of our parents. They will be able to sign up for after-school program during that same registration process. So it's one process for them to register their students. Next slide. And so Dr. Doisen already explained the different school sites to you that we're gonna have our program at. Next slide. So I want to talk a little bit about our summer enrichment camp. This year, we really want to put a great focus on our academic portion of the day. And so you'll see that we have some K-12 or K2 curriculum up there, and then curriculum suggestions for our teachers in grades 3 through 7. I wanted to highlight just a few things. Number one, for our K2 and for our 3 through 7, we're really going to focus on that enrichment part. We want it to be fun for our kids. We have planned a learning trip to the California Science Center. So we're hoping to get that approved tonight. We also have assemblies that we're bringing in to, just enhance the program and the information for our kids. Give them exposure to things that maybe they haven't ever seen, science experiments, a lot of hands-on kinds of things. We also are bringing an arts program in. So we've we're on for approval tonight. We have some art materials that we want to bring in for our teachers to be able to use. And we also have our PE, which is very exciting. And we're hoping to get some equipment for all of our schools to really offer a great PE program for the time that they're there. So next slide. You'll see that similar type in our extended school year. They will be offering the academics, but they're also going to be focusing on a portion on behavior for our students. in order to help them maintain those skills over that long period of time that they're on break. Also, we will offer occupational therapy or adaptive PE as determined in their IEP. So again, that they're maintaining those skills through that break. Next slide. Our after-school program will be in place to support the needs of our students. Again, provide additional enrichment on top of what they're going to be getting during the school day. And so we have our Action Youth America, that is our current program, and they will be running all the way through June 30th. The last day of school, there will be no program. It's all students will get out at 12, after lunch. Transportation will be provided home for all of these students at 3 o'clock. So there shouldn't be any transportation issues if parents want their kids to stay in the extra program. In addition, our after-school program will offer the program until 6 p.m. for those parents that are interested. Last summer, we had several parents that took that opportunity, because they worked the full day and they didn't have somebody to care for their kids, but still wanted them to get that enrichment. So that will be an option to our families. Again, they register the same time as the regular registration process. They click on the link and then all that information gets sent to our AYA program. And then they'll start setting it up and getting it going. So next slide. So at this time, we'll go ahead and just thank you and turn it over for any questions that you might have.
Trustees, do you have quick questions? None at all? I do have a question real quick. The after-school program, is that optional, or is that the kids have to go? Because the parents may after lunch, let's go.
It's an option. It's optional. The parents
Okay.
can choose to pick up their kids at the end of the academic day.
Okay, and real quick for PE, are they gonna have the parachute? I used to love the parachute. Does anybody remember the parachute?
We have a couple parachutes out there, absolutely, yes.
Okay, just asking. I love the parachute. Okay, no other questions? Okay, thank you, Dr. Duizon. Okay, now we're gonna go on to 13.004, human resources. Presentation of results of medical insurance rates.
Thank you, Madam President. So months ago, we committed to trying to research, making sure that we get into the lowest cost health insurance plan for our staff. The board asked me to look into getting out of our current trust as the rates were rising. We're expecting almost a 12% rise in Kaiser rates next year. And so the board asked me to explore getting out of the current trust and see if we can get into a lower cost trust. We are committed to that effort every year. We really want to continue providing our staff a no cost option. And so we contracted out with a consultant to help us do that work. And so I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Moran. He'll kick off other findings from that research. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mitchell. So as Dr. Mitchell mentioned, the new front broker, Keith Brown, he had presented back in November, on November 16th at our board meeting via Zoom. And his goal was to seek out competitive health rate insurance rates. He went out and explored alternative options to see if there were potential savings in another marketplace. So we've asked Mr. Brown to present tonight an update on his findings, and I'm not sure if Mr. Suma, if you could cue him up. Great, thank you. And so tonight he's gonna provide an update of his work from November to recently. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Brown again. He's the consultant from New Front. Mr. Brown?
Thank you. Good evening, President Benz, the board members, Dr. Mitchell, and all others in attendance. My name is Keith Brown. I'm a principal with New Front Insurance, and I've been working with California school districts for the last 24 years. I've worked with about 340 school districts in California. the district asked me to look at other medical options through various pools. And so tonight we have a short PowerPoint presentation to give you an idea of what we did and what the results were. I'm not sure if I'm running the slides or if someone else is. Should I just share my screen? Would that be okay?
Your choice, sir.
Okay. See if I can pull this up. Oops. All right. Can you guys see that? Can I get a thumbs up?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So the results of the medical marketing. It was a team effort. I was working with Mr. Kraus, Mr. Moran, and Miss Olsen Zavala. So I'll go to the next slide. The little background, Adelanto is currently a member of the High Desert and Inland Employee Employer Trust. We refer to it as a High Desert Trust. High Desert Trust allows school districts to pool together for the purchase of medical benefit programs. For example, Kaiser Permanente and Aetna are the current offerings. The High Desert Trust has lost a few members recently, and so that caused a little bit of concern for the remaining members that if members are leaving the pool, will the remaining members be stuck with even higher rates or higher increases? So Adelanto had some concerns about these member withdrawals. So they hired us to look at other available medical pools for possible membership. Slide's not changing. Okay, there we go. In terms of the steps, we gathered some information from Adelanto. Big shout out to Miss Olsen Zavala, who helped us put together this information. We had to pull employee census information, which included gender, zip codes, birth dates, current medical plans, and family member counts. When we send this information out, we never send out employee names, just the gender, zip code, birth date, etc. We had to send out the current rates at that time, which were effective July 1 of 21. And then we followed up with the renewal rates from the trust, which included, I believe, the Kaiser, as Dr. Mitchell stated, Kaiser is going to go up 11.81%, almost 12%. The Aetna HMO was going to go up 9%, but I believe that came down to 8%. And the Aetna PPOs were going to go up 14.5% for July of 22, but they actually came down to 13.5%. We also sent out the plan designs that were currently offered through Aetna and Kaiser Permanente. Lastly, we sent out the district contributions, which is basically how much does a district contribute for a full FTE or a partial FTE. We created a cover letter that we'll show you requesting medical quotes, and we sent that out on January 7th. And then we started to gather responses and provided them to the district. This is a copy of the cover letter. I won't bore you with reading it, but it was very simple. We're representing Adelanto Elementary School District. We give them the county in which you are doing business. We tell them that you're part of the trust. We explain to all the groups that the High Desert Trust is a blind trust. So we let the groups know it's a blind trust, which means there's no claims data available, because everybody wants to look at your claims data in order to assess the risk, but we didn't have it, so we let them know that. We asked for the information to be sent back to us by February 4th, and you can see in the letter we put in the district contributions by group: classified, certificated, management, executive management, etc. Who do we contact? These are the groups, the trusts and the JPAs that we went out. And I'll just go through their acronyms. It'd be a lot quicker, but ASKIP, CEBA, CVT, Gold Coast, McSig is a JPA up in Monterey County. REAP is a pool down in San Bernardino area. San Mateo, Santa Clara, and SISC, Self-Insured Schools Cooperative. These are the folks that we did contact to get competitive plans and rates. Here's the results. ASCIP provided a Kaiser-only solution. They did not offer any non-Kaiser plans. So initially we thought, well, we'll keep those aside because we may be able to find a non-Kaiser solution from another pool. So we held on to the Kaiser rates for ASCIP. CEBA, the California Schools JPA, they offered a Blue Shield plan, which was pretty competitive, but due to the high Kaiser penetration, which means you had so many more people in Kaiser than in non-Kaiser, they ultimately pulled their Blue Shield quote. So they never gave us a Kaiser quote, and they told us that they would not allow us to marry their Blue Shield quote with a Kaiser quote from any other group, such as ASCIP. So CEBA actually pulled their quote from us. California Value Trust declined to quote because of the heavy Kaiser penetration, and their HMO rates were uncompetitive. The Gold Coast Joint Benefit Trust declined to quote, citing lack of claims. They wanted to see your utilization, but the High Desert Trust did not give us that. They don't allow you to have your own claims. They stated the geography where your employees were actually living and the number of opt-outs. Those are the employees who have chosen not to join the benefit plan offered by the district. We looked at the MCSIG JPA. They recently got rid of their non-Kaiser HMOs. So they only had Kaiser HMOs, and then the rest were PPOs. Their pricing was significantly higher than the High Desert Trust renewal. The REAP, which is a pool down in, I believe, San Bernardino County area, did not respond to our inquiry. San Mateo, they offer both PPOs and HMOs through United Healthcare, Kaiser, and Sutter, but their pricing was higher than the High Desert Trust renewal. Santa Clara, they use a broker called CBiz, and CBiz sent us a letter. They declined to quote due to the geography and the effective date. What that means is, under the High Desert Trust, the renewal date, the anniversary date for the plans offered to the district is July 1. They run on a fiscal year, July 1 through June 30. The Santa Clara pool runs on a calendar year. So they would have had to offer you a 6-month rate or an 18-month rate to get you on a calendar year basis, and they chose not to do. They chose not to quote. And then SISC, Self-Insured Schools Cooperative, Self-Insured Schools of California declined to quote, and they, in their email, they didn't give us any rationale as to why they declined to quote. So, what's next? Timing was very challenging. The High Desert Trust confirmed their final renewal rates on March 15th. And most of the groups that we were talking to wanted to know what the final High Desert rates were before they released their rates. And Kaiser, due to their, Kaiser has a rule called break in, break away. When you leave from one pool to join another pool, Kaiser has to wait until your current pool releases their final rates before Kaiser will give you rates outside of your current pool. So getting the High Desert rates, as of March 15th, I believe, we had to give notice to the High Desert Trust if we were going to leave by March 31st, and 2 weeks was not enough time to get viable quotes. It's just the timeline didn't work for us this year. The A-skip Kaiser rates originally came in mislabeled. They originally came in as tenthly. And so when we converted the rates to monthly, they were competitive. So March 17th, I sent the rates to Mr. Moran, Mr. Kraus, and Ms. Olson Zavala. And I said, okay, we have some Kaiser rates. Now we have to find some non-Kaiser rates to marry them to. But then after we went back to A-skip, they told us, they acknowledged that the Kaiser rates were mislabeled and they were not tenthly rates, they were monthly rates. So when we looked at them as a monthly rate, they were actually 6.8% higher than the renewal rates that High Desert Trust gave you. And remember, as Dr. Mitchell said, the High Desert rates were going up about 12%. Tacking another 7% on top of that was just not tenable. So again, Adelanto only had until March 31st to submit their withdrawal letter. And there was no reasonable path forward for July 1 before the withdrawal deadline. We just ran out of time and didn't have any real solutions. We did learn that another High Desert Trust member will be withdrawing July 1st. So with that withdrawal, that leaves the trust with only 5 remaining districts for the upcoming fiscal year, which could be challenging at next year's renewal.
No.
Were we supposed to skip these slides? I think we took these out.
Yeah, skip those slides, please. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, these are just some examples of what we came up with. So we don't want to bore you with that. They were not competitive. Others, the CalPERS, we even looked at CalPERS. If all the members took the lower CalPERS plans, the CalPERS rates were still almost 10% higher than the Adelanto rates, and up to 17.7% higher. So even CalPERS wasn't a good option. And if you were in CalPERS, they had that minimum contribution where it would create an obligation on the district's part to maybe retirees who do not currently have a contribution. It would create an obligation that the district may not currently have. So we didn't think that was a good solution. The San Mateo rates were over 20% higher, and the McSig rates were over 30% higher. So again, no real solution for you. I'll look forward with only 5 groups continuing with the High Desert Trust for the 22-23 fiscal year. It's possible more districts may leave next year, and Adelanto should look again next year, kind of get the ball rolling earlier in the year and see if we can't find you a suitable home. And that's the presentation. I will stop my share. So if you guys have questions, I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Appreciate your information. I'll turn it back over to Mr. Moran. Any last comments?
Yes, no, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Also, I'd like to thank Melanie Olsen-Zavala from our staff who's here, Mr. Kraus for helping, and the ADTA committee and CSA committee members who also met with us to discuss this. And again, we appreciate your work, Mr. Brown. Moving forward, we're going to start the search again as soon as possible to look for more competitive health insurance rates. We're going to do that as soon as possible, and then we'll bring that back to the board in the future.
So they're
But
gonna.
I have a question.
Yes, I was gonna say, quick questions. Yes.
I wanted to ask Mr. Brown, how long have you been on this search?
Sorry, I'm accidentally hit the mute button. For the district,
yes.
So I was brought in, I believe, in November of 21. And so we started getting everything together in December, and we started the marketing in January.
Okay, thank you. Trustees? Any questions? No questions. Okay, I have none. It's disappointing, all those other organizations, like, okay. So, okay, but we will continue. So, okay, we're gonna keep trying.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now we go on to the consent agenda. We are taking 14.02 through 14.40. 14.21 was pulled. So that one is not in there. So trustees, what items would you like to pull? Wait, yes. I'm asking to pull. Yes. No? Okay.
Can I get 14.08, 14.09, 14.31, and then 14.37?
14.31. No, I think you wanted the 14. No, you want the retirement, right? Not the resignation. I think you wanted 14.32. That's the retirement. For 14.31 is the resignation. Okay, trustee Eckes?
No, none.
Trustee La French?
I'm fine. I wanted 08 and 09.
08 and 09. Okay. Which one's 08, 09? Did you find it? Okay, I did want to pull the one for the social worker. Just for discussion, and the one for the TOSAs for discussion. Oh, that's right. They're down the line. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're on the consent. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm so what? I know. Okay, so I'm sorry. My bad. Oh my gosh. How embarrassing. I am so discombobulated. Okay, here we go. So we are taking all of the remaining agenda consent agenda except for 14.08, 0.09, and of course 421 was pulled, and 14.32. Okay, so
Madam President, just for clarification, trustee Webster, did you say 14.37?
Oh.
I wrote it down, so I just want to double check.
I asked for 37, more on just a question.
Okay. You want?
No, it was the 32. I wanted to recognize her. Okay.
Okay. Do I have to go through the list again? Okay, so can I get a vote to a motion to approve the remaining items?
Eckes, I motion.
And a second?
Webster, I second.
And can I get a vote?
Trustee Eckes? Trustee La French? Trustee Webster?
Trustee Webster, I.
Trustee Benz?
And Benz, I motion passes 4-0. Let's go back to the beginning at 14.08. I need a motion.
Webster motions.
Motion to I guess to approve, and then we'll just have discussion. So we get that flowing.
It's just, I think, basically a motion just to open it up for discussion.
Yeah, okay, let's all open it up.
I have a first by Webster. I didn't get a second.
Second, Eckes.
Okay. Open it up. We're open for discussion.
This is gonna be on the Comlingo Spanish, and I wanted to kind of bring to, I touched briefly on this in the meeting. But are we gonna be able to look into the availability to provide this to all of our sites and then all of our students, not just as an after-school thing, but as something, a resource that they all can access and learn from?
Thank you, trustee Webster. I'll let Dr. Zweizine address that question.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Yes, that is something that we can do in the long term. This is to provide a pilot. So we want to see how it works because it is a live teacher. And so they coordinate and students are able to work with a live teacher in order to learn the Spanish. So we wanted to pilot it first and then we can take it broader scale.
Okay, and any other quick questions?
So this program is going to run from April the 25th, 2022 to June the 30th, 24.
Yes, so the cost included, so it's going to be 15 students for each of the 14 school sites, so an after-school club type program. And it's 70 per hour. So that's because of the teacher component that's embedded in the program. 1 hour after school each day. So for 5 days a week, each day, it's kind of like a club within the after school program. They will go to this club for 1 hour per day, Monday through Friday for the next 5 weeks.
Okay.
Have we looked at other platforms to provide this for students? Duolingo, other Spanish programs that might be able to give access to more of our students?
We have, I think that what the staff particularly liked about this was the the live teacher component of it. The Duolingo, if I recall, I don't have that information in front of me, I can get back to it, but it's more of a self-paced. And so the students may not pick up as much of the Spanish without that constant coaching of a teacher.
Okay, so let's go ahead and vote to approve.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Trustee Eckes. Trustee La French. Trustee Webster.
Aye.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I motion passes 4-0. Let's go on to 414.009. Approval of the purchase of Meet the Masters curriculum and materials. Can I get a motion?
Motion, Eckes.
Okay, and I need a second.
Motion, Webster.
And we're open for discussion. Questions?
Can we use your mic? That's okay.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
Thanks.
I was just saying that I love art, even though I really can't draw or paint or anything, but I'd love to see all of this art material and everything for the children to do. It's really a great form of, the children exploring their artistic.
Trustee Webster?
I'm gonna keep my comments short and agree with Love French.
Okay. Well, then can I get a vote to approve?
Okay, trustee Eckes. Trustee La French.
Aye.
Trustee Webster.
Trustee Webster, I.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I, motion passes 4-0. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to 37. No, she didn't want 1340. Did you want 1337?
Yes,
It
our
was
next one is 14.32.
32.
And then it'll be 14.37.
Okay. All right, for 14.32, certificated resignation for the purpose of retirement. Can we open this up? Can I get a motion?
Eckes, I motion.
Okay, and can I get a second?
Webster, I second.
And we are open for discussion. Go ahead.
Okay, so one of the big reasons I pulled this one was because I saw a very near and dear name on it that saddened me greatly. Miss Castillo was my daughter's first grade teacher, or kindergarten teacher, excuse me. And quite frankly, she engaged my daughter, she got her excited to wake up and get in front of that computer. And it just astonished me how much she cared about all of her students. So I just really wanted to pull this agenda item and kind of give her a shout out, send some love and some appreciation her way. Because I appreciated every step of kindergarten with that woman. And yeah, so now I will be quiet, but thank you for listening to me.
Trustees?
Yeah, I two of them really stand out to me, Miss Charlotte Bell and Mary Cohen. Really good friends of mine. I cherish these ladies. They are excellent teachers. They're just amazing, and it's a real loss to our district to have these ladies move on, but I understand, life goes on, and I know they have plans, so I just want them to know they're going to be missed. And everyone on this list, we're losing so many beautiful teachers. It's really sad, and we just need to acknowledge them and let them know that they are so appreciated and loved, and we're just going to miss them. So I don't know, that was my comment.
La French?
Just want to say congratulations, and as I always say, I wish it was me.
Yes. First thing, I'm jealous. Next thing, I wish them the best on the next step of their adventures. Hope they go wrestle bears or something. I think that'd be exciting. So we wish you the best. Okay, can we get a vote to approve?
Trustee Eckes. Trustee La French. Trustee Webster.
Trustee Webster, I.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I, motion passes 4-0, and we weren't doing 1437, right? Okay, you got me all confused now. Okay, so let's go on to 16 new business academic services. Approve the purchase and adoption of Savas California Elevate Science Curriculum Materials. Can I get a motion to approve?
For discussion purposes, I will motion to approve.
Okay, and I need a second.
I second La French.
Thank you. We are open for discussion. Let's go. Okay, this is what I'm gonna say, since here we go. I liked the curriculum. the teachers who piloted work liked the curriculum. Now, I, looked through the science one, but on my own personal, what I know, I've worked with their math curriculum, and I liked their math curriculum. And I think if the teachers who use this like it, they should be allowed to use it, because a curriculum is only as good as the teachers who are willing to use it. So that's where I stand.
Quick question, if Tasha can, or Dr. Mitchell, I'm not quite sure who I ask on this one. How often are we supposed to re-adopt curriculum?
It's a great question. Thank you for asking. I'll just pass it over to Dr. Wizon.
Typically, we're on an 8-year cycle when it comes to textbook adoptions. It usually follows our standards. Whenever frameworks are re-released through the state, they'll release a new set of standards, and then the state approves textbooks to be considered okay for purchase. And then typically that cycle happens about every 8 years.
With that, say, in 3 or 4 years, our scores are not going up, or our students aren't as engaged in this material, would we be able to look at additional curriculum to bring in?
Yes. So, so constantly, additionally, with the curriculums, we're also looking at supplemental things that may enhance. But this particular science comes with kits for hands-on activities and things like that. But we always are looking for additional above and beyond things to support our curriculum that we have.
Okay. How old is the curriculum we have now?
The curriculum, if you can pull up, Mike, the science, I have that slide available. No, it should be the presentation. There you go. And then keep scrolling, stop right there. And so our science was purchased in 2007, which are not even the current NGSS, Next Generation Science Standards.
Okay.
So they're not even the current standards. They were the old, very old standards.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
Okay, so this was just for 8th grade?
This is a TK8 purchase. So the way the Next Generation Science Standards work, if you are not teaching from TK going up, it will be difficult for them to pass any science tests because they're built upon the grade level before.
Okay, because the boxes that were sent to my house, I think it was only 7th grade and maybe 8th grade. I didn't get to review all the grades. That's why I'm asking that question. I'm a little confused. What I did review, I gotta say, I wasn't really that impressed. It seemed very, how do I explain it? Very simple, which is good, because that helps kids learn, but it was almost too simple. I expected them to be a little more challenging. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe the old books, sometimes just like with cars, sometimes they were made better and built better back in the day. And, I know we're supposed to move forward in technology and all this stuff, but when it comes to science, I know there's a lot of new science things out there, but the old stuff worked too. So I know we're outdated, but at the same time, like I said, the stuff I saw, I just wasn't that impressed with. It was just too basic and too simple. It wasn't very challenging. I don't know. That was just my opinion. I understand the district's already using it. I understand, we pretty much own it. And if the board was to say no tonight, that's a big problem. So I hope we learn from this, that in the future, the board reviews these things either first or when everybody else is reviewing them. Because I'm telling you right now, if this board did not like this and we voted no, we got a problem. We got a big problem. And people need to understand this is a very important part of the board's job, is to approve the curriculum. So this is rough, you guys. I'm just letting you know, again, if this board voted no tonight, you got a big problem, huge problem.
Well, I believe that the cabinet followed our board policy, right?
We
Our
didn't
school
review
pol-
it.
We did, the board policy doesn't require board review. We did make it open for all the community, including the board, to preview the materials. Back to your other question, we didn't think it prudent to send you all 8 grade levels to your house. We thought a sample of a grade level would suffice. Happy to send you all grade levels if you'd like. And in terms of the science adoption itself, again, the state adopted a whole new approach to science called NGSS. My concern is that school districts in LA and Orange County and Irvine, their children are exposed to the NGSS standards through their textbooks. I'm concerned that our children are at a deficit because they're not even being taught the standards that could make them competitive with more fluent areas.
Okay, well, again, I hear what you're saying, and you're saying you followed protocol, but you didn't if the board did not preview this at the time everybody else did. I didn't know anything about it. I don't know. Did you guys know anything about it?
Well, I think that maybe that's like a thing that the board can look at through policy. If we put that in our policy.
It is policy.
It's
The
not in
board-
our policy. I can send you the policy, trustee.
So you're telling me the board does not have to preview any of?
I'm
the
telling you that
materials?
it's not in our policy.
So we may have to look at the actual policy so that can,
Okay, then we got a big problem because I thought it was in policy and we've always done it that way. So if you're telling me it's not in policy, something's really wrong. I've been here almost 17, 18 years. We have always previewed the textbooks, always. If Ms. Turner was here, she could back me up. When we approved the sex ed materials, they tried to force us. I mean, that was just something else. And the board was allowed to preview it in advance before the public, thank goodness. And we were also able to edit things. So if you're telling me this is not policy, we got a big problem here and we need to
Well,
address
no,
it
I'm
quickly.
just saying, and I'm not trying to say that, it's like we have a new cabinet that they followed school policy the way it was done, so
What do you mean
maybe
they
what
followed how it was done?
the school policy says, this is what,
But I'm
you
telling you,
do.
for the last 17 years, the board always previewed everything. So what do you mean? If they were following policy, I'm confused because.
Trustee Eckes, I'm happy to send you the policy.
Okay,
Your
but
practice may have been
Yeah.
different than the policy.
okay, but the point is, we're here now. We got, we each got what, two grades? 2 grades, and we have to make a decision on this. Okay, I know my stance, and I guess the board has to vote. And that's how we do that. I
Right,
mean,
and we're having a discussion, and this is a very serious discussion, because if this board votes no, you got a problem, $3 million problem. So that's why I'm trying to iron this out right now. I know you're trying to move this ahead, but I'm telling you, 17 years, the board has always approved the textbooks. Now I'm hearing from staff or cabinet that that's not in our policies and we don't have to do that. And
okay, well, we're here now, and
I
I'm
need
not
clarity.
trying to just move it ahead, but we do have to stay on topic. They didn't do it wrong. Like they didn't go behind our backs. He followed the school policy, the
school or the
district
Okay, that's
policy.
what I need understanding. Am I being told that it's district policy that the board does not have to review it or any? I mean, I'm confused.
Well, he could print it up and
I'm happy to send the policy to you again, trustee Eckes.
Yeah, but if I vote no right now and the rest of the board votes, you got a $3 million problem. What I'm
No,
saying
we
is
don't have a
somebody
$3 million
needs to explain.
problem because we haven't purchased it.
But I thought we were using it.
We piloted it. We have a certain amount of teachers who we've given the materials to try it in their classrooms. We have not purchased this textbook.
Oh, I thought we already were using
no,
it.
well, no,
Yeah,
they're
we're
they're
piloting it.
Piloting it. So they got samples to some teachers.
Okay.
And
So
the publishers give us those pilot materials for free.
Okay.
And then
so-
we select a group of teachers who will use it for the year. We've done that. And we get feedback from the students and the staff on the quality of the materials.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
tonight's decision before you is to purchase the materials.
Okay.
The recommendation from staff is to purchase.
Okay, I understand that, but I got another problem. Are you telling me that there is no policy that the board has to review materials and vote on them? That's what I'm confused about. I know you're going to send it to me and everything, but I need you to verbally tell me, is that what there's a policy and that's what it says? Is that the
The
board?
policy does not require the board's approval before it goes for teachers. It requires the superintendent to create a committee of teachers to review the materials, to make it open to the public to review the materials. We did all of those things and now we're bringing it before the board's consideration for approval. The teachers voted on it. The pilot teachers made a recommendation. I'm making the recommendation to approve these materials tonight.
Okay, and in this policy, it doesn't say anything about the board members checking it out, pre-approving it, looking at it, nothing. It just says that we're supposed to vote on it. Is that what that policy says?
I don't have it memorized, but it does not require the board to approve the material. It requires, of course, it requires your approval because of the purchase. It's before you tonight to approve.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to review that policy because that's a
good idea.
serious policy,
Yeah.
very serious. And I know other districts always approve their materials. And I don't know if anybody was paying attention, but even this new justice that they appointed to our court system, she's on a school board and they were saying that she's approved and that's part of her job as a board member to approve curriculum. So I'm just saying that that's always been a policy almost in every school district that I know of. So if you're telling me we don't have that policy.
No, you
we
have
need to
your,
look into
it's
it.
before you tonight for approval.
No. What I'm saying is it's supposed to be a board policy for the board to approve it when everybody else looks at it. We used to have an open thing where everybody would come and look at the materials for like a week or two, parents, staff, everybody.
We did
That's
that.
when the board did it too. I wasn't told about it. That's when the board checks it out too. We're told, you guys, this is the material coming before you. Check it out. Let us know what you think. And then later on, you will vote on it. You will approve it. But that whole part got skipped somehow. I didn't know anything about it. So I'm just saying that's a policy that needs to be addressed. It's a very serious one. And I'm glad we caught it now because other districts always look at the materials before they vote on it. And again, it is sad that I only saw 1 or 2 grades. If I would have known about this ahead of time, I could have went when everybody else did, and I could have looked at all the grade levels. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry. You know, like I said, I've been here a long time and we've always had this protocol and now all of a sudden it's different. So anyway, that's just my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, and we should have workshop board meetings so we can start to look at our policies. You know, those are supposed to be, what's that word? Not study sessions. You know, that's one of the things I'd learned at NSBBA, you know, is that the policy, it isn't stagnant. It's always growing. I have that word. I can't think of it. So right now we have the vote whether, you know, to approve the purchase. This was tabled. You know, we got some samples. I know how I feel. So I think we should just vote.
Okay, I got one more question. If this didn't pass, what do we do now? Do we go look at other curriculum? Do we start all over again? What would be the process?
process would be, we would start over and we would look at some more materials and pilot it and get teachers' opinions on it and so on and so forth. And then our children would wait a little longer to get new science materials.
Real quick on a question. You did start off with two curriculum, right? There were two types. One was Savas and the other one was Harcourt or McCourt.
Savis and McGraw-Hill.
Okay, it was an M something.
And those are from the state adopted textbook list. So we do have to purchase from state adopted textbook list.
And so they went, and then the ones that you had two test pilot programs, right?
Yes, so this actual research that they took actually preceded my coming here. So this is what I bring before you is the culmination of since 2017 that they've been working.
Okay, so did you hear that? So the process with this started in 2017. So that's what they're saying. All right, so can we vote on this? Can we get a vote? You could vote before me.
Yeah.
I'll vote last.
Yeah.
Okay, Love French.
Trustee La French.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
I don't want to do
it's
your
all
job.
good. It's all good. Trustee Love French, yes. Trustee Webster.
Trustee Webster, I.
Trustee Eckes. Trustee Benz.
Benz, aye. Motion passes 4-0. Okay, let's go on to 16.002. Approval of the contract with Powerschool to be used as the data and analytics platform beginning on April 13th, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023.
Thank you. We'll have an explanation, a brief explanation from Dr. Weiser. Thank you.
Yes, so have to get used to the new. So good evening again. So before you have an approval contract with Powerschool before you. And this is beginning from April 13th through June 30th of next year. The reason for this additional couple months, typically our contracts go year to year. And this is in place, the extra months, so that we can take the time. It takes several months to begin migrating data into the platform. So what we are missing right now is we do not have a reliable resource in order to pull data. And that's across the scale. That's from the district side, that's from the teachers, our administrators. We do not have a reliable source. So you'll recall, I believe last year, the purchase, and this was before my arrival, there was a purchase with Illuminate. Illuminate had several problems, customer service. Even when they migrated data, the data was wrong. So we found many errors, not willing to work with us. So Powerschool, we believe, is also will give us the ability to grow into as our data grows, also including having an MTSS system. Our SSTs would run through there and they sync with ARIES. So that way it's a seamless migration of data. So yes, I think that's a brief overview.
Okay. All right, can I get a motion to approve? And then that opens us up for discussion.
Eckes, I motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Webster, I second.
Thank you. Now we are open for discussion and questions.
I'm gonna kick it off with the initial term total at 96. Is that just to sign us up? Or will that cover from April 2022 to June 23rd?
This will cover us all the way until June 2023. So I typically I'll bring you a contract from year to year within that same year. So I need a couple extra months just so that by the first of the school year, we're ready to go. And you won't see another renewal until next year, probably around this time.
Okay, what does it mean by annual ongoing fees? Will that be included in the initial term total, or is that going to be an additional cost to the initial term total?
So right now, the cost that you have in front of you, we sat down and we included everything that we needed within this program. And so that is what you have in front of you. So if it goes over, you know, a certain amount, they have to.
Yeah. No, he was coughing.
There is a gentleman that was coughing and he went out to the foyer. Okay, we were concerned. Yeah,
Is he okay?
he's
Okay,
good. Okay, thank you.
all right.
Okay, sorry. So the cost that you have in there, so licenses and subscriptions, so it's per student cost. You also have setup fees, and then you have training that's also included within this, because this is a platform, and so we want to make sure everybody knows how to use it. So that's all included in there. And then the annual fees is every year we need to make sure that we purchase.
Is the
Subscription.
annual ongoing fees, is that going to be in conjunction with the initial term total, or is the initial term total for everything from April 2022 to June 23rd?
Yes, everything's included in there.
So moving forward from June 2023, then the annual ongoing fees will be factored in, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Perfect, thank you.
So just for understanding, most contracts that we have are a year. Am I correct? Yeah. that's
That
standard.
is correct. Yes,
Standard.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, can I get a vote, please?
Trustee Eckes. Trustee La French.
La French, I.
Trustee Webster.
Trustee Webster, I.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I, motion passes 4-0. Let's go on to 16.03, ratification of the agreement with Blue Knight Protection Agency for security guards for board meetings.
Webster motions.
La French seconds.
Okay, and my second was from where?
Trustee La French.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, do we have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I just want to say thank you for them being here, and I appreciate it. Thank you. I do. I feel so safe right now. You wouldn't believe it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so.
Thank
can
you
I-
as well.
Can we go in for a vote?
Trustee Eckes.
Oh, do you have questions, Webster? Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
Aye.
Trustee La French. Aye. Trustee Webster.
I.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I, motion passes 4-0. Let's continue on. 16.04, approval of the agreement with Sandy Pringle Associates Incorporated for division of state architect required inspection services of installation of 31 shade structures. Can I get a motion to approve?
Eckes, I motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Webster, I second.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Questions? The kids need shade. It's hot.
No, absolutely. I just wanted to clarify, maybe Dr. Mitchell could answer this. The additional approval for the agreement is for like an architecture company that is required to get the 31 shades put in, correct?
Absolutely, and I'd like to have Mr. Kraus give detail on 1604, 05, and 06. They're all related. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I am excited to be bringing these items before the board this evening to continue the process of providing shade in our weathering sun that we have out here. So the first one, 1604, is a independent inspector. So the company builds the shade structures, but they have to have an independent inspector inspect the work. So that's what they do in order to comply with Division of State Architects. So that's where you see the first one. And then the other two also are related to that. They are independent inspectors that have to inspect, such as the welding for the next one, and the other one is for the soil and testing as well. So it's basically checks and balances whenever we do it. But we're excited that this is moving forward, and we appreciate the board approving the 31 shade structures at a prior board meeting.
Okay,
Thank you.
can I get a vote, please? Oh, do you have another quick question? Okay, I'm sorry.
Is there a specific fund that these monies will be coming out of?
Yes, thank you so much for that question. So we are using what we call Fund 40, which is basically our facilities fund that we have, and the county just helped us create. So we had money that was sitting in restricted account, because it is restricted monies that were sitting in the general fund, Fund 01. And the county helped us create, with the board's approval of Fund 40 creation a few board meetings ago. We'll move that money over. That will pay for these shade structures, and also, for example, when we move forward with the pool, as an example of Fund 40. So you'll see a lot more, board, of Fund 40 coming before you, but it will only be for construction projects and facilities projects.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, now can I get a vote?
Trustee Eckes.
Aye.
Trustee La French. Trustee Webster.
Aye.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I motion passes 4-0. On to 16.05, approval of the agreement with the project support services for project construction management of the installation of 31 shade structures. Can I get a motion to approve?
Eckes, I motion.
And can I get a second?
Webster. Webster.
Okay, get a second from Webster. Any quick questions? Okay, can I get a vote?
I have one quick question.
Okay. Your mic is on, my love.
I'm sorry. I was wondering, I saw something, I know that it was something regarding, I guess, like our internet. And I was just wondering, I noticed that we only chose Spectrum, and I know this is past tense. However, for this one right here, did we get more than one bid for this? We're still on the states.
We're still on the shade structure thing. Oh,
On these are contracted services, and so we get requests for proposals if they're a large project, but these are all related to that one major project, the 31 shade structures. So we work with these vendors to assist us in these, and so they did submit proposals. Yes, to answer your bottom line question, yes.
Any more?
any questions? Okay, can we get a vote?
Trustee Eckes.
Aye.
Trustee La French.
Aye.
Trustee Webster.
Aye.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I motion passes 4-0. Okay, going on to 16.06. Approval of the agreement with Corey Engineering and Testing, Inc. for construction, inspection, and material testing for 31 straight shade structures. Can I get a motion to approve?
Eckes, I motion.
And can I get a second?
Webster, I second.
Okay, and any questions?
This is the company for the soil, correct?
Yes.
Any other questions? Can I get a vote?
Trustee Eckes.
Aye.
Trustee La French.
Aye.
Trustee Webster.
Aye.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I. Motion passes 4-0. 16.07, approval of the agreement with Safe Fleet for bus cameras, audit and repair for 45 buses. Can I get a motion to approve?
Eckes, I motion.
And can I get a second?
Left French, second. Yes.
And any questions, discussion?
With the agreement, would this also leave us open for upgrades if need be on bus cameras?
Yes, this is the original company that installed the original cameras. They're coming out to check their work, that some of it's under warranty, others cameras we may need to come back and bring back another agenda item depending on the status of them. But this will give us an audit. But then in the future, as we move forward, when we purchase new buses, we have the opportunity to install more updated camera systems as we move forward, like on our new electric buses.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Can I get a vote?
Trustee Eckes.
Aye.
Trustee La French.
Left French, aye.
Trustee Webster.
Aye.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I. Motion passes 4-0. 16.08, tentative agreement between the Adelanto Elementary School District and the Adelanto District Teachers Association, ADTA, on the 2022-2023 school calendar. Can I get a motion?
Eckes, I motion.
And can I get a second?
Left French, I motion.
All right. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, can I get a vote?
Trustee Eckes.
Aye.
Trustee La French.
Aye.
Trustee Webster.
Aye.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I. Motion passes 4-0. Here we go. 16.09, human resources, approval of the agreement with the Department of General Services, Office of Administrative Hearings. Can I get a motion to approve?
Webster.
Go ahead.
Webster. Motions.
And can I get a second?
Eckes, I second.
Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote.
Trustee Eckes.
Aye.
Trustee La French.
Aye.
Trustee Webster.
Aye.
Trustee Benz.
Benz, I. Motion passes 4-0. 16.10, human resources, creation of a position, school social worker. Can I get a motion to approve?
Madam President, at this time, I would like to table the next three items, 16.10, 16.11, 16.12, for two reasons. One, it's very late and we're kind of getting brain fried here. And number two, we are missing an important board member that I think should be here when we're making these type of important decisions. So I would like to table those three items for the next board meeting.
Okay. Board. So is that your motion?
Yes.
Is to table it. Is there a second?
I second.
So we're up for discussion. So let's have a discussion. We do have a quorum. So we can vote on this.
We could, but if it doesn't go in the right direction, you may have a split vote and then the motion would die. This way, if we table it, it could be brought back and you might get a better turnout at the next vote.
Okay, you got me there.
That's my rationale. That way, I mean, it's being fair to the district.
Okay.
Also, could I request a little bit more information, maybe the like requirements for these positions before I vote on a lot?
Yes, I'm happy to do that. Yeah, you have the job description, but I'm happy to send more information. Yeah, so the job descriptions are fairly good, but we can also give some rationale why we need them. Also, I want the board to take note that the social work position and the TOSAs will be paid out of LCAP and not out of general fund. These are positions, those funds are reserved for positions and activities such as these and cannot be used for raises and regular general fund expenditures.
Noted.
Okay, well, I guess the board has to vote to table these since we got a second. Okay, let's call for the vote.
Trustee Eckes,
Aye.
trustee La French, trustee Webster,
Aye.
trustee Benz.
Benz, I motion to table passes. Oh, I said aye. Well, doesn't matter. 4-0. I am tired. Okay, so we go on to 17.001 events and future activities significant to the district.
Given the hour, I'll forego my report tonight. Thank you.
Okay, so let's go to 18.01 adjournment. Can I get a motion?
I second.
I didn't hear that. I don't know what happened.
Eckes, I motion.
And Webster second. Can I get a vote?
Trustee Eckes,
Aye.
trustee La French, trustee Webster,
Aye.
trustee Benz.
Benz, aye. The time is now 10:20. Motion passes 4-0. Everyone, please have a good night.
And drive
thank you
safe.
very, very much.
Thank you, Cabinet, as well.